everybody, Brett from La Beth and the Belfry, back for another video. Right now it's a Friday morning at like 7:30, and lots and lots going on this weekend. It's our daughter's first birthday celebration, so we're gonna do some stuff, getting ready for that. It's also Wrestlemania weekend. We're gonna go to Build-A-Bear workshop and make a bear for our daughter for her birthday. Yesterday was officially her birthday, but we're celebrating this weekend. And yeah, can't believe we've been parents for a whole year. It's kind of hard to believe that, but I'm being a little quieter because I know not everyone's up just yet. So, but yeah, we'll get into some fun and see where the weekend takes us. It's Sunday. I'm in my wife's office where I tend to do a lot of commentaries and reviews on this channel. It's been quite a hectic weekend. I'm wearing my Miss Rachel shirt because for our daughter's birthday, we did a Miss Rachel themed party. And yeah, we have a very small house to host parties. I was gonna say, like, we do have a fairly big backyard, but the weather yesterday was really, really breezy and really, like, it was like, you know, high 40s. So it's like, you don't exactly want to hang out outside for a party when it's that temperature. So yeah, most of the party was in our house, like between the kitchen, our movie room, and our living room. But even then, it was like, we only had a small bit of people, like, I want to say like 20 like to 23 people max. And it was just pure chaos. And Kelly and I decided, we're like, yeah, if we do you know, more of our daughter's birthday type things, like let's host it somewhere else, unless, you know, it happens to be a really nice day that we can do it outside. But yeah, it was pure chaos yesterday. And just for, you know, even a kid's birthday party, which you don't want to make too long, and we had to go, like, it was originally supposed to be like 2 to 4 p.m. and it ended up going till like 4:30. But yeah, that was a crazy day. And then for last night, we decided to sit down and watch WrestleMania Night 1. Tonight will be, you know, WrestleMania Night 2, WrestleMania Sunday. And as far as just quick thoughts on WrestleMania Night 1, I mean, the build up to this WrestleMania has been pretty great, I must say. Some of the matches haven't really lived up to the hype, though. I mean, this is just my knee-jerk reaction. Maybe as, you know, a little time goes on, I'm like, you know, maybe my taste will change, but there were good matches, I would say. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed by the main event, which was the Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins against Roman Reigns and The Rock in a tag match. And good God, this felt like the longest match ever. And especially when, like, the pacing is just really slow. It did pick up towards the end, but I feel like we were like 35 minutes into the match at that point when things actually started ramping up. And then there was some cool spots, like, you know, The Rock went through a table, you know, some special moves. You know, you got to see The Rock, you know, do a rock bottom on Cody Rhodes and then do the people's elbow on the Cody Rhodes, and The Rock and Roman Reigns ended up winning the tag match last night. But I was not a huge fan of this match, honestly. I was like so hyped up for this. I thought this match was going to be super explosive. It really wasn't. Yeah, it was just, it got to the point where, like, 3/4 of the match in, I was like, guys, it's not a Quentin Tarantino film. Like, it's a wrestling match. Like, let's wrap this up. Let's get it going. Like, get people, do some finishing moves or do your signature moves and, you know, get out of Dodge. But I was like, I can't believe I'm thinking this way as a wrestling fan, because normally, like, there are some really good long matches, but the one in the main event last night was not that good. I think Cody and Roman tonight, WrestleMania Sunday, is probably going to be a lot better. So, I mean, I think the silver lining in this WrestleMania weekend is that, you know, night 1 was just kind of meh to me. So it can only probably get better from here. As far as good matches, though, I did like the the six-pack tag team match for the tag team championships, the Raw and SmackDown ones. And they ended up splitting the tag titles because they just made it like one thing for a really long time. But I thought that was a good idea for them to do that. And just seeing R-Truth end up getting his WrestleMania moment by grabbing the Raw Tag Team Championships, it's pretty funny. I love R-Truth. He's so funny and just so entertaining. So that was a fun time. It was like watching a Money in the Bank match where it's just ladders and bodies flying everywhere. So it's an enjoyable car crash. I actually have to say, the opening match was probably one of my favorites, which was Becky Lynch against Rhea Ripley. Actually, speaking of Becky Lynch, I did buy a copy of her book, The Man, Not Your Average Girl. I'm looking forward to reading that because she's super cool. One of my favorite female wrestlers right now. And yeah, her against Rhea Ripley last night was really good. Honestly, they could do more than just this match. I think they definitely have the potential to take it farther and, you know, at least make a cool trilogy of matches out of it. Because honestly, this was one of those matches where I was happy with either person winning. And Rhea Ripley, like, you know, she's taken over like the women's division and for good reason. Like, she's super powerful. Like, she's a total powerhouse of a wrestler. So yeah, I was stoked on that. And I would say honestly, I think my favorite match of the night might have been Sami Zayn against Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, and Gunther got dethroned. And what I thought was so funny, my wife and I were watching this last night, and they said Gunther is now, as Intercontinental Champion, has been champion for 666 days. I'm just like, that's super metal, dude. And, I don't know, I thought that was really funny, and Kelly's like, that's amazing. And so he lost his championship at 666 days to Sami Zayn. And I liked their match. I thought I didn't really care that, like, I do like Sami Zayn a lot, but I really didn't feel he was deserving to, like, get that title. I feel like it really should have went to Chad Gable, but, you know, we always can't get what we want. But the match itself, I thought, was really good. They kind of made this, like, it had a very, like, Rocky IV feel, where it was, like, Rocky going up against the big Russian dude, Ivan Drago, and, you know, Gunther was the Ivan Drago type character, and, you know, Sammy was just the true underdog, but how they pulled off the finish, I thought was really, really good. Yeah, like, so that's a silver lining. I would say the worst match of the evening, unfortunately, was Jey Uso against Jimmy Uso. Like, those guys have been a tag team for like a decade plus, and I don't know, they just didn't do it for me. I don't know, their chemistry is usually off the charts, but they couldn't do a match really well, like, against each other. Unfortunately, it just didn't go over that well, honestly.
Opposite of slow is fast. Bernie likes to run. You can run very fast.
Hi.
Hey, how was our party yesterday?
Crazy.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier in the video.
It was crazy.
We're on a walk. I have a bum leg and back issues.
You have a bum leg. I have a frizz head. And Riley has a squeaky wagon.
She does. It just makes these squeaky sounds, and like we can literally hear it through the entire neighborhood.
It's like echoing.
Trying to capture there's one. You heard that. It's Monday, the night after WrestleMania Sunday, and quick thoughts on WrestleMania Sunday. Cody Rhodes finally finished his story. It's about friggin' time, and I'm super stoked about last night. Yeah, I thought night 2 was overall much better than night 1. I'm kind of glad because it's funny. Last year's WrestleMania 39, night 2 had some good matches, but night 1 overall was much, much better. And night 2, of course, Roman Reigns retained against Cody Rhodes. But this year, they flipped it where it was like night 1 was okay, but night 2 was much, much better, like on the overall. And I'm glad for that. And as far as like Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns, this match was much, much better than the main event of night 1 with you know, the tag match between Rock, Roman, and Seth and Cody. This match between Cody and Roman was just much, much better. I thought they did an incredible job because they had a lot of stars that came out for this match, and you didn't want to overshadow just the overall Cody versus Roman match, but they somehow had all this stuff where, you know, of course it was bloodline rules, and of course the bloodline always loves to interject in every match to make sure Roman ends up winning. But having Cody have equal amount of people to come out and help him, and of course they had Jay come out to tackle Jimmy Uso like off the stage into like 2 tables, which actually was a pretty scary looking spot from the angle it was shot. I think they're okay, but it did look a little scary. And then, you know, you had Solo come out, and then of course I was like, they're gonna absolutely have John Cena come out to take care of him. They did. And then The Rock came out to, you know, The Rock came out and did a rock bottom to John Cena. And I really was thinking Stone Cold was going to come out to take out The Rock. But, I mean, it's not a bad alternative. We got The Undertaker, and I was stoked on that. Like, you know, when The Undertaker's gong, like, hits, everyone's just loses their mind, and myself included. And I love that, you know, they added some spookiness to this match where, you know, Undertaker's gong hits and the whole entire stadium went completely black. And then when the lights came back on, the Undertaker was right behind The Rock and he did a choke slam to him. And yeah, like I said, it's super cool that like they had all these stars intertwined in this match, but at the same time, they didn't like you know, stay their welcome or anything. It was just these quick spots where it was like someone came out and then someone came out to counter them, and that was it. And then they got back to Cody and Roman pretty quickly. So I was really glad for that. I was like, how do you make this thing so grand but not overblown at the same time? But I thought they did an incredible job with that. And yeah, I mean, they had teased this, you know, for like weeks, and you know, even leading up to WrestleMania and at WrestleMania, that they were like, this is the new era of WWE. It really does feel like a new era, and especially with the end of this WrestleMania, Seth Rollins against Drew McIntyre, and Drew ends up winning. I mean, first of all, this match was just pure adrenaline. Like, it was just so hard hitting. They were just like, who cares about being like technical? Let's just freaking like throw all of the finishers at everybody, like, you know, back and forth. And then finally Drew ends up winning. And then Drew was like having beef with CM Punk. Drew had a little moment to himself, like to touch the championship belt and everything. And then I was like, watch, Damian Priest is going to come out and cash in. Sure enough, he did. And he beat Drew McIntyre for the belt. I was just like, that is the whole point of the Money in the Bank match. I mean, if it's not through like something like that, it's really wasted potential. And the previous Money in the Bank with Austin Theory winning it, and then trying to cash in on Seth Rollins for, and at the time Seth Rollins, I think, was United States champion or something like that. It's like, why would you cash in on just like a mid-card title like that? Just some overall really good matches. I liked LA Knight against AJ Styles. I actually thought the Philadelphia Street fight between Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, against the Final Testament, I actually think it went as well as you could have hoped. Their rivalry is not super great, and it's not really connecting with a lot of people, including myself. And like, I'm the biggest cheerleader for Karrion Kross because I just really want him to succeed. But with this new faction of his, it's not really connecting with me either. And yeah, this Philadelphia Street fight, it went pretty short, which is pretty much the best thing you could have done with it. Was just make it like some carnage, but make it like 5-10 minutes, 10 minutes maximum. And yeah, it didn't really feel long at all. Like, it was just a bunch of just crazy spots, like crazy violent, like a lot of like, it was pretty brutal. Like, you know, it was like one person from each team just had a bunch of kendo sticks, like teaming up on one person. Karrion Kross kind of took a beating as well. I was thinking to myself, I was just like, Final Testament has to win this one because they're a brand new faction. Like, you know, they kind of need the win to just kind of prove themselves. But at the same time, like, just the match itself, how, like, just crazy and, like, chaotic it was. Like, Bobby Lashley and Street Profits winning, I was just like, I mean, I love those guys, but I was like, you know what? It really doesn't matter who wins or loses this match as long as it's just, like, entertaining. And I definitely was entertained by that match. But yeah, I gotta say, one of my favorite matches, I mean, besides the main event obviously was my favorite of night 2, but as of any other match, it would definitely was Bayley against Io Sky. That match was way better than I thought it was going to be. I had this expectation where I was like, I was really stoked for Bayley and, you know, going up against Io Sky, but I was like, watch it be just like a total dud and just nothing to it. And definitely proved me wrong because I loved it. That match was awesome. It was great. And, you know, stoked for Bayley. And, like, I'm just stoked for a lot of, like, a lot of storylines going forward and just starting with something new. This is a really good WrestleMania, I must say. I mean, if you're watching early in the video with my WrestleMania Night 1 stuff, like, I just said it was meh. But it's like, you know what, I'd rather just have a meh, you know, Night 1 if I know Night 2 is going to be better. So I think they did the right thing with that, is they really paced this really well. And especially for, you know, Night 1's main event, I wasn't crazy about. I do believe a lot of people probably really dug the main event of Night 1. But for me, it was just kind of like, it was there. You know, you needed something big, but not super, like, going crazy with it. And I mean, I think that kind of was the best they could do with it. I mean, they could have really had like an actual like main event just match between two other people and it wasn't bloodline related. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, and overall, like, WrestleMania 40 was, I think, a really good WrestleMania. I'm gonna just wrap up this video because it started with a vlog about, like, you know, my daughter's birthday and everything, but it's like, it's also WrestleMania weekend, so I guess I wanted to talk about that and just kind of give a brief overview of that. But to those non-wrestling fans who were expecting more from this video, apologies about that. But to wrestling fans, hope you enjoyed the video. But yeah, I hope you all overall enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Trying to do a little bit more vlogs, a little less reviewy type stuff. You know, most of this channel kind of started with just mostly vlogs, and I'm trying to like be more conscious of making more vlogs on that. So hopefully you all enjoy if you enjoy the vlogs. My name is Brett. I'll see you in a future video. Bye.